Hi, my name is Gilbert Muponda. I'm the Zanu PF aspiring candidate for the Warren Park constituency. Warren Park covers Belvedere, Milton Park, Warren Park 1, Warren Park 2, Warren Park D, and Court Comfort. I think it's got about 60,000 residents and 23,000 registered voters as of the last count by SEC. I was born and bred in Warren Park. It's an area that I have been attached to and still have got ties to because I live in Belvedere, which is part of the constituency. My campaign is really based on returning Warren Park to its previous status as a medium to low income area in terms of infrastructure and amenities. I've done a few projects to empower the youth. That includes free provisional driver's license programs, whereby we paid the trainers in the literature and the books and everything. And the candidates, we have got I think about 250 graduates of the program now. We've also done free holiday lessons at my school, which is owned by the Gilbert Muponda Foundation. The school is in Belvedere, next to the Long Chain Plaza. We have been doing free holiday lessons for the kids. I think the last program we enrolled about 400 kids from the Warren Park constituency. We have a bus that goes around the constituency to collect these kids and then takes them back home after lessons at 3 o'clock. That program is very important, as I believe in education. That is the only true inheritance you can give to a child. You can give them wealth, but if they don't have enough education, that wealth will basically be run down and they probably lose it. So that is a program that is really central to my campaign in terms of empowering the youths and the young kids to make sure that they go to school and they get basic education. And my bigger vision is to develop Warren Park into an education hub, the same way that you have big towns like Oxford, Cambridge and Boston in the US, and Cambridge in the UK, where you have a high concentration of educational institutions. I would like to develop Warren Park into an educational hub which will have at least 5 to 10 universities. Right now I think we've got 3: Harare Polytechnic, Belvedere Technical College and Harare Institute of Technology. And I think on the GMRI portfolio we're going to add our own university, a university focused on science and technology and finance. That should be done within the next 5 years. One area that Warren Park is lagging behind is the development of a local home industry. We used to have that, but it was destroyed, I think, during the Mrambachina days. And right now we have youths that are blessed with practical skills such as welding, woodworking and furniture making and things like that, but they don't have a place where they do these things. They don't have a market. So as one of my programs, I would like to engage the city council to set up factory shells, small to medium scale factory shells that have got proper infrastructure in terms of electricity, water, toilets and things like that, and sheds, to make sure that local youths can start their own small industries that can then graduate into the formal industry. And that is good in terms of creating employment and also taking them away from the streets. A third program that we have, which is currently active, is the Gilbert Muponda Football Academy, which we have partnered with several leading footballers and retired footballers. This program has enrolled about 80 kids who are talented in terms of playing football. The kids are given training kids and also food and things like that, to make sure that they are not roaming in the streets or sitting by the bridges, as they say. We want to have those kids enrolled and using their talent as footballers, and that is what we are doing right now. That's part of the programs that I have for Warren Park. On an overall scale, there's other things that I would like to work on for the family. Things like when a father passes away, it is very expensive to change ownership from the father to the mother, who now remains as the widow. What we want to look at is how can we cut costs, because you look at the Warren Park houses, they are going for about 40 to 50,000, and you have to pay a percentage of that house for that house to change ownership. And most of the widows are not employed and they can't afford that. So once I'm in Parliament, I intend to move legislation and laws that will make sure that a widow who's the surviving widow can automatically have that house transferred to their name as soon as they can prove that they were married. without having to pay these charges, because these are exorbitant and you end up actually losing a house that your husband worked for. So that's one of the programs that I would like to work on. And another program which is very critical to my campaign strategy is that of title deeds. A lot of houses in the constituents don't have title deeds. Some of them have got agreements of sale, have lease agreements, they've got sessions agreements, but they don't have title deeds. And the title deed, as you know, is proof that you own something, and you can actually access capital, access resources that you can then borrow and then use to maybe develop your house or a farm or a business. But the process is very difficult and very expensive. So once I'm in Parliament, I intend to push together legislation that will allow these houses to easily have title deeds and reduce the paperwork required and reduce the process costs and things like that. Because if you have a house and you just have documents like an agreement of sale, you can't borrow against that. What you want is a title deed, but the process itself is very expensive. So once I'm MP for the constituency, I intend to push that paperwork. And then you have cooperatives that have got some paperwork, but it's not complete paperwork for the houses. So that is one thing that I want to push as MP. The fourth thing, as an MP for Warren Park, I'm very concerned about the gravel that is being taken from the Warren Hills area. That is a resource which is being found in the constituency, but there is no benefit to show that Warren Park has got this mineral which is being used to develop all the roads around Harare. What we want to look at is a system whereby there is something that is retained within the community. As you know, those trucks have damaged the road going to Merek. That road is now almost a dust road. Even though right now I've engaged all the authorities and all the other stakeholders, and that road is being rehabilitated and being reconstructed as we speak, I think in 2 months' time that road will be in good condition again. But as the MP, I want to put together measures to make sure that those who use the road excessively in terms of those trucks, they pay something to go towards maintaining that road, so that whenever there's a pothole, it's repaired promptly. Because if a pothole is not repaired promptly, the road ends up being wasted. That is one of the things that I want to work on as MP. But I've got, the constituency at heart, because I was born and bred in Warren Park and I still live here. That is what I'm sure Warren Park residents are looking for. They are tired of imported MPs. People want someone who they can relate to, who is fully aware of the area and its history and its prospects and its potential. And I am that candidate.